PFC Bradshaw stares out his window at a landscape of endless, undulating dunes. Below a cloudless sky, pale as a blister, the desert's hills and valleys stretch as far as the eye can see. He seems mesmerized by the endless brown, but his mind is back home in the lush green of Virginia. That morning, he'd chatted online with his sister, Darla, but it had brought him more aggravation than relief. Each time she said how she was praying for his safe return, he was reminded how his faith had died out here in the brown. He'd carried a travel-sized Bible in his breast pocket all through basic training. Now he has no idea where it is. Bradshaw vaguely recalls praying what feels like 1,000,000 years ago. A choir boy, he believed every promise the priest uttered, that God was benevolent, that all faithful souls go to heaven, that good always conquers evil. Each night Bradshaw would curl on his side, arms slung around the neck of his stuffed giraffe as he stared into its eyes, imagining the beaded blackness stretching to infinity. So easy when you're young to believe a soul is fabricated from starlight and clouds, tucked between heart and lungs, stitched within your skin. Harder once you watch those sacred vessels spill their contents in the sand, animated bodies becoming lifeless corpses. The desert taught him what happens when bullets tear a torso's seams, plunge in like needles without a threaded eye. He knows how few places bodies offer souls to hide. Bradshaw notices movement in his peripheral vision and comes back to the present moment. It's Mueller getting up from his seat. He hears the pestering squad mate plop down behind him and lean over the tall row seat. Mueller taps the window beside Bradshaw's head and says, "Know what these remind me of?" On the other side of the glass, red tassels dangle from the roof's edge, some with tiny bells affixed to their ends. Mueller drops his hand from the window and taps Bradshaw's shoulder instead. "Hey, know what the tassels remind me of? Come on, you must know." Bradshaw still doesn't turn. As the newest member of the unit, Bradshaw is the continual target of Mueller's taunts. Burkholtz had transferred in about the same time 4 months ago, but as their squad leader, he is beyond Mueller's harassment. Shit flows downhill, not up. Mueller continues tapping until Bradshaw turns from the glass, irritated. "What?" "They remind me of the pasties on your sister's tits, that's what." He puts his hands up in a mock defensive posture, as if Bradshaw might punch him. But Bradshaw just shakes his head and turns back to the window and the ocean of brown. Mueller spins to see if his squad mates heard the exchange, looking for anyone to give him props. But they're ignoring him too. "Aw, come on," he says. "That shit was funny." Burkholtz. This is what it's come to, Burkholtz thinks. Picking fights among ourselves. With the war on hold, it's not just Mueller. They were all feeling the tension. A month ago, when the statue of Saddam toppled in Firdos Square and jubilant Iraqis slapped his face with their sandals, Burkholtz had figured the war was all but over. But the next day, they attacked and captured Kirkuk. The following week, they rumbled into Tikrit to battle the last pockets of the Republican Guard. Their battalion fought ferocious battles, all successes, with few casualties and no deaths in the company. They were conquering heroes, liberators of the subjugated. Each sandstone city they entered, skinny men and children in ankle-length thobs raced, cheering beside their vehicles. When President Bush stood on an aircraft carrier in front of a banner reading, "Mission Accomplished," what more was there to say? It was time to pack up and go home to the ticker tape parade. Except they didn't go home. A provisional government was set up and they stayed on in a peacekeeper role, stuck in the desert, 6,000 miles from loved ones. So here we are, Burkholtz thinks, riding out to a makeshift range in a jingle bus, the hour-long ride feeling more like 3. Looking back at Mueller and Bradshaw, Burkholtz